What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. So lately, last week or two, right? There's been a common statement being put in the comment section, right? And it's not a lot of people, but it trips me out. And the statement is, Dubs, all the time you did in prison, you should know better, right? And some of them that are saying that, they have good intentions. Others don't. You know how it is. You know how the social media is, right? But what's a trip to me is when I hear that, I'm going to be honest. I ask myself, like, but do they know what time it is? Like when they say, you should know what time it is, you should know better. And I'm like, I do. I was actually there. And so this video is you guys know I don't talk about prison politics, and I won't in this one, but I'm going to probably get a little closer than I've ever gotten, okay? Because I really think that there are a lot of people who have an idea of prison, and maybe they were even in prison, but I don't know where, right? I've said it a gang of times. I'm a nobody. I was a nobody in prison, but I was around a lot of somebodies on quite a few occasions, right? I remember conversations. I remember the incidents. Like I was around a lot of crazy shit, right? And so I think that there are people who, yeah, maybe they were in prison and maybe they were on the periphery of certain things, right? And they have this idea of carnalismo. They have this, they're still caught up in the mythology. Their ideas are very poetic, right? And so in this video, I'm gonna try, I have to be comfortable with what I'm saying and what I'm putting out. And I have to have a message. Do you guys know who the greatest enemy of a Southern Mexican is? The greatest enemy, the greatest rival, the deadliest threat to a Southerner. Do you know who that is? It's another Southerner. It's not a black. It's not a Northerner. It's not a white. It's not an Asian. It's not another. It's another Mexicano from Southern California. Every day in there, behind those walls, man, it's a deadly game of chess. Okay? I can tell you I've been places where somebody would pull up. They'd be, hey, who's that vato? Or that's so-and-so. He works for whoever, right? And somebody else would say, that vato's a coward, eh? I know that cat. If we move on him, if he lives, he'll lock it up. If he dies, the problem goes away. Either way, it goes away. And I'll be like, damn, the fuck? The vato just got here. He hasn't made no waves. But the thirst for power is very corrupting. You know how they say absolute power corrupts absolutely. Prison is not poetic. Prison is not brotherhood. Prison is self-preservation at the end of the day. I can tell you that when I would meet new homies and they would, certain homies would gravitate towards me and I would lace them up, just give them an idea of how I thought, how I did my time. One thing that I would make clear to them is this: we're cool. Especially once I got to understand their thought process and we were similar in our ways of thinking, or they were like a sponge and easy to mold. I would tell them straight out, listen, don't get butthurt if I don't even acknowledge you on the yard, if I don't kick it with you on the yard. The reason why is because we're good. Instead, I'm going to spend the yard. I'm going to have all the conversations with those that don't like me. Other dudes from Southern California who are plotting and planning constantly. That's who you need to hang around with. Those associates you have in there that you're cool with, why are you going to hang around with them? Only a dummy does that. You don't get to see the schemes, hear the plots. You're falling way behind on that chessboard. So when I hear, Dubs, you should know better, I trip out. See, people have a perception of me that I can't change. And it's not my job to. My job is to be a productive member of society, to give back when I can, and to try to be an example of change and hope. If I can't be that, that's not my fault. That's someone's interpretation. That's somebody's bias, whatever it is, and I wish them well, right? But I do know what time it is. And another thing I used to tell vatos in there all the time: never, ever base a friendship off of something that could be taken away. If somebody has the bag in there, somebody's a connect, somebody has feria, all of that can be taken away. So your best bet is to build your friendships and your relationships on character, on certain traits that you see, on loyalty. If somebody is disloyal to someone else but loyal to you, what's that got to do with you? I always say I learned very fast in prison to base my relationship off of my interactions with people. I don't give a fuck if it was my own Sally and he's saying, "Was that vato this and that?" That was your interaction with him. He don't interact with me like that. Like I said earlier, every day behind those walls, people are playing chess with other people's lives. They're trying to preserve their own in the process. People should get rid of this whole mythology of carnalismo. People really should get away from pushing prison or even street theories on social media. We're on the streets, man. We're not in the streets, but we're on the streets. We're in society. Whatever so-called work I did in prison means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. It meant that I didn't give a fuck about nobody, including myself. I'm not that person no more. I don't ever want to be that person no more. That person sits on my shoulder, though, whispers in my ear, and I do a pretty damn good job of ignoring them. I just wanted to put that out there for you guys, give you guys something to think about, especially youngsters, man. Youngsters, if you think you're running around with the homies in the streets, and it's all fun. I remember I did a lot of shit that I thought was fun back then, but it wasn't fun when I look back at it. I was lost. I was reckless. Basically, you're suicidal when you're living that lifestyle. But if you're thinking like it's all good, it's fun, and then you go to the joint, you don't go with your homeboys. Your homeboys don't do your time. You do it. Your mom does it. Your kids. And I don't know, man. It's just something to think about. Those of you that think prison's cool and prison matters out here, you're inviting an energy into your life that can be pretty fucking detrimental. It trips me out too when people say in the comments, you did too much prison time. I'm trying to help people through my experiences. So with that said, man, I'm going to bring this one to a close. Thank all you guys who support the channel. Thank all the new subscribers. I've been getting a lot of new subscribers. Thank you for watching the videos. Make sure you hit the notification bell and hit all. I know a lot of people, YouTube keeps changing it without anybody knowing to personalized. And hit the like if you like the video. Leave a comment. Let's engage. With that, I'm out, man. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them.